Welcome back to the channel. Just want to give you guys an update on the 62. Haven't made a video in a minute. I dropped a short like 4 weeks ago that the car was moving and stuff on its own power, back on the road. But here's an update of the current state of the car. So I've got the shell of the car in bare metal. This took me about 3 weekends to do. Got everything masked off right now. Got the car on jack stands. Everything's masked off. Getting ready to shoot some epoxy. The reason I masked everything off is because if you go back to the previous videos, the inside of the car is painted. The bottom of the car is done. The trunk is in black epoxy. And I didn't want to get overspray on anything. The engine compartment is also done. The firewall's painted. And that's the color of the car, the Corona Cream. It's original to the car. So that's why everything's masked off the way it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and, I got the door jambs down to bare metal, or the door jamb. Both quarters, all the trunk gutters, the tail light panels in the back, the rear trunk panel right here. Everything's in bare metal. What I used is 80 grit sandpaper on this DeWalt rotary buffer, hook and loop, belt sander to get into the tight corners, this little bit right here to get in the corners you can't get to with a belt sander, and I only use that just enough to take the paint off. That's what I used. While I was stripping the car, there was a whole bunch of Bondo right here on this rear panel, and underneath the Bondo was a lot of rust, a lot of pitting, but nothing went through. You can't see any holes or anything through there. So I hit it with some Ospo, let it sit for a while, neutralized it. Went back over with 80 grit sandpaper, and I'm gonna epoxy over it. Passenger side door jamb, I did about 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, I forgot. But yeah, this is all also taken down to bare metal, and I was just, trying out the SPI epoxy. I never used it before. This is the first time using it. Right here, I was using this hybrid epoxy primer. It was supposed to be, epoxy, high build, and sealer, all in one. But I didn't trust it, so I went ahead and I scuffed everything down with 120, and I'm gonna put a couple coats of SPI on here just to seal it. Right here, you could see there was I don't know what you want to call it, a little bit of surface rust. What happened was I had to gap the whole car. I had to cut the quarter panels right here, splice them, get the gap right to 3/16 between the quarter panel and the door, re-weld everything back up. Same thing with the trunk area. As you can see right here, I had to cut, splice, weld, and grind. Right here, all this stuff. Aftermarket quarters, aftermarket taillight housings, all that stuff. Everything's gonna be off. So that's what I've been up to. I haven't had a chance to make any videos and stuff like that. Between working on the car, also single parent, I got 2 kids, full-time job, and so I got to do stuff around the house, and then I work on the car when I can, but this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at with it. Right here, I got the all the other body panels. I got the front valance, the cowl panel, the 2 doors, the fenders, the hood, and all this I sent off to sandblast. They sandblasted everything, and I got it in 3 coats of SPI epoxy primer. All the bottoms of the panel are done. That's the bottom of the hood. The bottom of the trunk, everything's in SPI epoxy. The doors, both doors, And then the insides of the fenders. All this stuff's done. Everything's in 3 coats of SPI. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I got the primer mixed up. I already got everything waxed and greased. Letting it, flash off for 30 minutes. This is the wax and grease remover I'm using right here, SPI wax and grease remover. And here's the SPI epoxy primer. Got 64 ounces mixed up. Maybe too much or too little, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But, worst case scenario, I got a little bit of primer left over or not enough, I'll just mix up some more. So I got the primer mixed up, I'm letting that sit for about 30 minutes. You have to let it sit for, what do they call it, induce. You gotta let it induce for 30 minutes. So as soon as it's done inducing, I'm gonna start spraying the primer. And then I'll bring you guys with an updated video. All right, I'm out.